turn it up!
Hiya everyone, I have a battle here with Ragna, also known as RagnarokX6923 from YouTube. So, here we go. I lead off with my Bucha, while he leads off with a Celebi. He starts things off with a Thunder Wave, but Bucha, he can totally handle any sort of... Oh, he's paralyzed. Yeah. Great start. So while he sets up rocks, my Bucha pulls himself together and pulls off a dynamic punch. Celebi is now completely and utterly confused by how awesome my Bucha really is. He's so confused by this that he ends up hurting himself. And now Bucha starts throwing rocks at him for ever doubting his awesomeness, because that's how Bucha rolls. So, Celebi is confused how he could have ever doubted Bucha's awesomeness, and he ends up hurting himself again, while Bucha finishes him off with another Stone Edge. So, next comes Crystal. For a second, I was debating on switching out Bucha, but then I realized that I would probably end up hurting myself for doubting Bucha. So, he sets up a calm mind while Bucha goes for his signature dynamic punch. Now that the hacks are just rolling on in, Crystal ends up hurting herself for also doubting Bucha. But Bucha needs a little boost to take out this mighty foe. So he ends up flexing his huge muscles. So Crystal ends up snapping out of her confusion, now understanding the awesomeness that is Bucha, and she goes for a surf, which does a fair bit of damage, but not enough to scare Bucha. And so he hits back with a dynamic punch once again. And since I'm totally awesome, that hit once again confuses Crystal, because she just can't quite comprehend the awesomeness that is Bucha. Bucha. So while Crystal runs away, in comes Hot Pockets. Bucha got scared by the ghost for a little bit, for just a second, so he was paralyzed. The Hot Pockets throws out a thunderbolt. I'm not sure how, but sure, why not? Bucha was still a little bit scared of the ghost at this point, so he ends up being stunned again. And that gives Hot Pockets a chance to do one more T-Bolt. But this time, Bucha finally gets over his fears. He ends up getting off a Stone Edge, but it's not enough to take out the Hot Pockets. So, sorry Bucha. That T-Bolt is gonna take you out. You fought well though, Bucha, so you take a good rest. Bucha. And go Omega! It's puppy time! Obviously he's terrified of Omega because, it's Omega. So he pulls out his Hot Pockets and sends in Flygon, which ends up taking my Flare Blitz pretty well. Now he ends up making a really good play, because he ends up switching back onto his Hot Pockets, and that negates my extreme speed. So here I realized he is Scarf, and Yeah, he finishes off poor little Omega. Poor puppy. Stupid thunderbolt. Pfft. Now it's time for a character change. Heart, unlock. Go Amu! I end up going straight for the Draco meteor, and I end up taking him out because otherwise that thing was going to be a pain later on. So, now he ends up sending in his Big Mac. Since Amu is scarfed, I switch onto Amu's friend, Kukai, while the Big Mac sets up a sub. I end up going for a bullet punch to break his sub, and he ends up going for a focus punch, which was quite unexpected. So, now he ends up switching out to his crystal so that he can take my incoming superpower. Which crystal, yeah, does end up taking pretty nicely. But not nice enough to take a second one. So now at this point, since Superpower has taken out Crystal, I decide to leave in Kukai because even though he's tired, there's really not much point in switching him now. So he goes for a weak bullet punch. But Flygon, he really doesn't like Kukai because Kukai ate his ice cream. And so he ends up outraging on him. So now I go for Katara of the Water Tribe. She takes the outrage fairly well and ends up finishing off him with a surf. Now he brings back his Big Mac. And so Katara helps it become a real Big Mac and throws some toxic on it. Yeah, because it's poisonous. Anyways. Well, he goes for a sub. I protect while he body slams to let the toxic work its magic. Now he goes for the focus punch, which, while I set up a wish. Here's where I do something stupid. I misclick surf when I meant to protect. So it didn't even break its sub, and his body slam is enough to take out my stupid Katara. So next I send out Cheatery. I end up T-bolting to break the sub. And he gets off a body slam, which does a fair bit of damage. I go for the roost just so I have a bit of health for whatever's coming next, and he ends up body slamming again. And he ends up getting the Parahax. But it doesn't matter at all. Now, Ragna decides he's gonna start throwing some Fruit Loops at me. Yeah, the Fruit Loops he throws out has a hidden power of ice, and that does a lot of damage. Curse you, Kellogg's! Cheatery gets off a Thunderbolt, though. But then he finishes off Cheatery with another HB Ice. So, come back now, Amu, to wrap things up and make Ragna Fruit Loops all soggy with the surf. Yeah, Try eating your cereal with water all over it. Anyways, bye everyone! Bye! And visit tflare.com. Bye!